Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug, episode number 133 on Monday the 30th of May 2011. My name is Steve Layton and the reason that I'm in a strange place today is that I am in Colombia, in Bogota, of which I shall tell you some more now. So, I had a big plan this week that In My Mug I was going to record at a customer's coffee shop, Shrewsbury Coffee House in Shrewsbury. Funnily enough, good place for Shrewsbury Coffee House I think. Everything was arranged. I was going to go in Saturday, record it, and then come to Bogota Sunday. Record it early, have it in the bag, everybody be happy. So what happened on Friday afternoon was I realised I was going to need a second bag. So I phoned up Air France and said, "Hello Air France," and they said, "Hello Steve Layton from In My Mug." And they said, I said, "I'd like to bring another bag." And they said, "Certainly Steve, that's not a problem at all. We'll see you tomorrow morning." I'm like, "No, you'll see me Sunday morning." "No, tomorrow morning." And my flights were for Saturday morning. So I had to cancel the In My Mug there, and I've got to do one here. Now the only problem is I am on my way to Cali in the next couple of hours to go and visit, sorry, name escapes me. Basically I'm going to go and spend a couple of days on the farm in Santorio. In Colombia, which is a coffee that we had last year that we had the Bourbon and the Typica from. So that's going to be super exciting, and I'm sure I could record an absolutely awesome In My Mug there. But the problem is, I'm here. I'm not there, and I've got to get it done today, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to get it uploaded until next week, and I don't ever want to miss a week. So, enough running around the houses. I have kit ready to do In My Mug. I have my AeroPress, I have my little Porlex grinder, I have my scales, and I have some coffee. So let's talk about the coffee. The coffee that I'm going to be doing this week is from Bolivia. It's called San Ignacio. And it's a coffee that we found from the trip that I went on last year to Bolivia. So while I was there, I went to visit Machicamarca. I went to visit another couple of farms in the local area. And then the idea was to go back to the cupping lab in La Paz in Bolivia and cup some coffees. Now from this cupping table we found, what did we find? Sorry, I'm still a little bit jet lag, haggled headed, so you're going to have to bear with me on this. We found Belinda, which has been an amazing coffee and we've been so happy with. So you got the Belinda, and there's also the, oh come on Steve, why is your head so rubbish? The Belinda, oh La Zoya. Jeez, how could I forget the La Zoya? La Zoya, which has been phenomenal. Both of those coffees, for me, are right up there in my top 10 already for this year. But so is this one, and this one doesn't get as much love as the other ones. And there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, it's a cooperative coffee, and there's something very unsexy about cooperative coffees. And there was a time where I actually really didn't like cooperative coffees. But then I went to Guatemala a couple of years ago and was talking to the head of a co-op, and they were just saying to me, "What we can do, Steve, for you is we can pick smaller lots because we bring all the best parts of the other farms together. We can put those into one, and because we're always prepared to pay decent prices for the coffee, it means that it can be a really, really good quality coffee." So that's a really good reason to buy from co-ops. Also, you're helping smaller growers that necessarily wouldn't be able to find market. So, you know, these small guys can be doing as little as 5-10 bags. They still deserve a great price if they're doing a great job, and that's what the co-op allows you to do. So I think that's one of the reasons it doesn't get the love. I think the other reason is it's a peaberry. And I do remember a time where peaberries were held up as this wonderful, amazing, great thing, but there seems to be a little bit of a sway the other way, that people go, "Oh, peaberries, why, don't get it." And I'm with you. Completely. I'm completely with that group of peaberry, really. But when a peaberry's good, I don't think it's because it's a peaberry, it's because it's a good coffee. So this coffee comes from a group of 10 farmers based in Caranavi, which is in North Yungas, so the opposite end of Yungas compared to somewhere like Machicamarca or La Zoya. Somewhere I went to in 2008. This sounds like a bit like Wish You Were Here and all about my little trips, but Caranavi was an amazing town at the bottom of the Death Road, and if you don't know what the Death Road is, well, you should know what it is by now because I've talked on this, but it's basically the most dangerous road in the world, and it goes from the top, from La Paz, it's about 6,500 metres above sea level, and you travel all the way down into Caranavi, which is about 2,000 metres above sea level, and it really is a steep decline down. And the coffee is grown at 1800 to 2000 metres, and yeah, is a peaberry. I'm going to show you a picture of the rose colour now, and you'll see from this what I mean by this. But it's not a typical peaberry. I think that half of this mix really is just a smaller bean and not a peaberry. And that's another reason I shouldn't like it, because you look at it and go, it's a bit ugly as green. It's well prepared, it's well looked after, but it's a bit ugly. But this coffee wasn't judged in a beauty pageant, it was judged on a cupping table with Machicamarca, Lozoya, Belinda, and a group of other amazing Bolivians. And honestly, it held its own in those. So, with all those things against it, I think it's great that this coffee still can cut through. And I think well, I know, because we've sold this coffee for long enough. So many people have told us how much they love it. We've rocked at Bolivia this year, and that sounds a little bit arrogant, and it is, but we have rocked in Bolivia this year. I think we have really got a great collection of coffees together for this year, and I'm so proud of the offerings that we have from there, right down to the Machicamarca Peaberry, which wasn't the best coffee in the world, but it was an amazing look at what that coffee is, and was great that we were able to get it. So you may ask where I'm on location before I kind of witter on anymore. I'm actually in my apartment. I had to book this at the last minute because of Friday afternoon's debacle, but this is where I'm going to be stopping the week when I come back from Cali, because it's the World Barista Championships, and that's the main reason for me being here. We've got a couple of people using our coffee, and I'm hopefully going to get them on camera at some point this week and put it on Hasblog or something, so do keep your eyes out for that. But I'm sure you want to know what the coffee's like, because I really have wittered a lot today, haven't I? I'm wittering because it's 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, and I'm very jet lagged, and I'm not best prepared for this trip, so excuse my wittering. I'll whap you on pause. I should be back in just a moment.
The only one for me, Colombia.
So I'm back. Made the AeroPress, already got the water in there for the dilute. Just going to push down. Don't want to break a glass table. I'm doing nice and slowly. I don't know what it is with Latin America, but they have a filter brewer in there. They've got a stove. They've got just pans and things, but no kettle. Just don't understand it at all. It's not the first time. I'm just going to put this on the floor and do it, because I know I'm going to break this glass table if I push any harder. So if you want to know how I've brewed it, go look at the AeroPress video that I've done. I tell you, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I used to do without the AeroPress and the Paulex. It is just the most amazing invention. I mean, you look. So you put that in your luggage. You put that there. Right? You put that into there. You're packed. You're ready to go to have coffee wherever you go. It's amazing. It really is. Put that down there as well. I'll clean up after, because it's just going to drip everywhere. Right, so 1 minute. Just to show you there's no editing, I've left the stove on. Right, okay, so anyway, I'm going to be trying this today is in the AeroPress. It makes a delicious espresso. It works really interestingly with milk as well, because, well, we'll get to that. But it is a three-way coffee for me, and I've been using this a lot in the blends, like a lot. It is a great espresso blender because it really brings a lot of things in that you like. So body with some sweetness, yeah, and with a kind of little kick of acidity. It really does work. But let's smell. So I'm going to show you the rose colour again, because I've already showed you it when I was showing you the peaberry, what you see there. Don't know how good that is. Oh, Air France coffee is not good. Their food is amazing, but their coffee's not very good. So, on the plane it was amazing. Sorry, diverting off before I talk about the coffee. Coming across, it was full of coffee people. I'd got a World Barista Champion sitting just in front of me. I'd got 2 competitors behind me. I'd got a competitor from last year behind me. 3 judges just in front of me. It was a real coffee plane, but you don't want to know about that. Let's talk about the coffee. So the coffee. First thing that hits you is its sweetness. It's very sweet. I get a real maltiness with this as well. Maltiness is a weird one. I think in almost like malted milk biscuits, you know, that kind of like, just malty. It's really, really pleasant. But then you just get this little, and I'm doing my shoulder again, a little soupçon of acidity. It's not too much, but it's definitely there. You just really get this kind of, I don't know, it's a really weird one. It's a little bit green apple-y, but what you do get is you just get a creamy mouthfeel. It's another one of those viscous ones. And viscosity in brewed coffee, I think, is super important. It's lovely when you get that feeling in the mouth and it just sticks to the tongue. But Horlicks, that's the one. That's the one. Horlicksy, malted milk, biscuits, sweet, just a delicious coffee. And I tell you something, drinking in Colombia, Bolivian coffee, I wish I'd got some Colombian to drink here, but it's all coming towards the end of the season now, so we haven't got anything that we hadn't done. This is amazing. Very good indeed. Right, I think I best wrap up. I know this isn't my greatest work, I do apologise, but I hope you've enjoyed the coffee. That's the important part. It is a stunning coffee. It's one that lacks a little provenance because of its cooperative roots, but you know, we know the exporter that pulls the cooperative together. They're real close partners of ours and the trade, and they're the ones that we've bought the Lozoya and the Machicamarca and the Belinda from. So we have a huge amount of trust in the work that they do, and I think this is just a really, really great example of why co-ops aren't bad. In fact, let's end with 3 things about this coffee. 1, it's co-op coffee, and that's not a bad thing. 2, it's, I think, Typica and Catura. Is it? A moment. It is Typica and Catura. Get in, you remembered. And it's grown between 1,800 and 2,000 metres, and is a Peabury version of the Catura and Typica. So Peaburys are 5–10% of the crop. In the cherry, you get 2 seeds normally. Sometimes a piston inside that cherry misfires, and you end up with just 1, and it makes it go a little bit round like you saw on the photos before. So that's 3 things about this coffee. 3 things you need to know about Steve Layton is 1, he's very, very tired. 2, he's an idiot for getting his tickets wrong of when he should be coming here. And 3, he believes that life is too short.